Welcome to the Dirt Court Jesters podcast, your home for dirt track racing across the country and right here in Southwest Ohio. It's episode 89. This is Josh, along with EJ, Indiana Sprint Week, North-South 100, and the Knoxville Nationals. I hope you guys are ready to get dirty. This week in dirt racing history, we're going back to August 7th of 2004 at Eldora Speedway. In USAC sprints, Kevin Huntley grabs the win, Sammy Swindell in second, and Bill Rose would round out your podium. Interesting note from this was a 3-day event at the Big E. Night 1 was the All-Star Circuit Champions. Night 2, the World of Outlaws and the American Late Model Series. And Night 3, USAC Sprint Cars.
Let me talk to you.
This week's talking points want to first start out by talking about racer Case Higgins. He continues to improve after being severely burned. Yeah, I think everybody by now has seen that, and it's going to be a tough battle, but it sounds like Case is battling, and we just want to let him and his family know here at the Dirt Court Jesters podcast that we're behind him.
It's going to be a long battle for that kid. And unfortunately, that's just getting started. And yeah, like you said, everybody's, seen the footage and stuff by now and been keeping up with Case's updates on social media and stuff. And, yeah, it's going to be a long battle for him, and we're definitely behind him here.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one, but he's already fighting, and like you said, we're behind him the entire way. Moving on, the number 4 is back, and so is Kasey Kahne. I don't know if you've seen it, EJ. Man, that number 4 ride for Kasey Kahne is sick. I love that. Look, Kasey Kahne's always got some good color schemes. Maybe that's part of, the side gig he had going on there while he was racing cars. But good to see him back in a sprint car. Really love the look here. And I wouldn't mind seeing Kasey Kahne make some noise here coming up at Knoxville. Justin Grant wins the opener at the dirt track at Indianapolis Motor Speedway during Indiana Sprint Week, and he gets his 100th USAC win, joining AJ Foyt, Rich Vogler, Mel Kenyon, and Dave Darland. That's a big group to join, and a milestone there for Justin Grant. And not only that, EJ, a big milestone for him, but where does he do it? He does it at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I mean, that's storybook type stuff right there.
Yeah, and I mean, hate him or love him, I mean, Justin Grant's been working hard for a long time to get where he's at and up here with these types of names. And, it's well-deserved. And like you said, no better place to do it than right there at IMS. And, yeah, he tends to win a lot there in Indiana. So, it's definitely a big milestone to reach 100 USAC wins for Justin Grant.
Yeah, and moving on, how can we not talk about 71 USAC sprint cars at Lincoln Park Speedway for Indiana Sprint Week? I got a shot here when I was at Lawrenceburg for Sprint Week, but man, they had a really good turnout. 71 USAC sprints at Lincoln Park Speedway, and in my opinion, if they had maybe paid a little bit more from top to bottom, I think every Sprint Week race was $10,000 to win, but if somehow they had some more money, maybe make it $20,000 to win and pay some more from top to bottom, they could have easily had 80 to 90 cars there. Not to mention that same night that they had 71 at Lincoln Park, Limaland, which was, it's probably a 4-hour trek from there, but not hateful. They had 27 non-wings signed in. So, that's a big car count, non-wings there within a decent amount of time of one another, pushing 100. And across all 9 nights for Indiana Sprint Week, average car count of 45. So Indiana Sprint Week is always up there, and the car counts were good. They had a couple, I think at 33 was their lowest. I think that was maybe the half miles. So that's not necessarily surprising, but EJ, were you able to catch any of the Indiana Sprint Week action?
Yeah, for sure, Josh. And it was definitely exciting all week. Good car count, like we're talking about here. 71 sprint cars. That's incredible. And yeah, that the average car count was in the 40s. So that's really big. They're out there. I feel like that's non-wing capital of the world out there in Indiana. So
Yep.
it's definitely good to see them all show up like that and put on a bunch of good racing all week. And yeah, man, big championship for Kyle Cummins.
Yeah, your 2026 Indiana Sprint Week champion is Kyle Cummins, his first USAC Indiana Sprint Week championship. Congratulations to him.
So moving on, we're going to go back into fuel tanks. They've been a hot topic since the King's Royal, and we've been talking about it on here, and I've heard it talked about in a lot of other places. So the more I think about it, you got two options. You always run bigger tanks or you shorten the race. I'm for the latter. Speaking of fuel tanks, Josh, I don't know if you caught. You get out my little handy dandy notebook here, buddy. Looks like Logan Prickett at Paragon Speedway, his fuel tank dislodged in turn 2 during qualifying. And when I tell you that thing looked like it was shot out of a cannon, I mean, I would hate to be having that coming towards me.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that because I think there was a problem with a fuel tank in Pennsylvania not that long ago either. They went, I think this year went to 5 points of contact, if I'm not mistaken. They're trying to keep the fuel tank on the car. They certainly don't want it going out in the crowd. I don't know what the answer is to the fuel tank. There's a lot of discussion here whether, the races that are longer, do we need bigger fuel tanks? And then obviously the issue with fuel tanks flying off the car, do you somehow figure a way to tether them like the axles tethered to the chassis? Is that something that could be done? I don't know what the answer is. And, you don't want to go on in the crowd, but then if it goes away from the car, then the fuel's not there and it's going to lessen the risk of fire and the driver being stuck in the car. So there's so much to think about that. I know recently here I've been seeing some national safety stuff pop up on social media, which seems like that's kind of it's been around, but it seems like they're starting to be more out there, which is a good thing to see. So as far as that aspect of the fuel tank, I don't know. I would certainly would not want it going out into a crowd. I mean, I don't want it getting stuck to the car and the driver catching on fire either. Like, what's the option here? You got to pick one or the other. And as far as the size of the fuel tank, I don't know what the answer is. Obviously, I love the King's Royal, and that is what has created all this. I think I would be okay if they shortened the lap count. I think I would be okay with that. I don't think it's realistic to say we're going to have a couple races that are going to be 40 or more laps in a season, and then in turn you have to run a bigger fuel tank because there's going to be some guys that it doesn't matter. It's just another withdrawal from the bank. The team's fine with it. They don't care. They can store a tank in a trailer and use it a couple times a year and not blink. But you want to get those other teams there as well. And that might make people think twice about coming. We're like, well, I've got to go buy a bigger tank now to run these guys because they're running 40 laps tonight instead of 30 or 35. I don't know what the answer is to any of this. I think as far as the size of the fuel tank, I would prefer they stay with the tanks they have, not run a bigger tank and take away some laps from some of these races. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree, Josh. And I did some deep thinking about this last night, and I was thinking about it on like an engineer aspect of it. And trust me, I'm not an engineer by any means, but just the downforce of the car itself, and just trying to lock the car to the ground, and it being rear wheel drive sprint cars and 900 horsepower. And we see a lot of wheel stands anyways, even on small tracks with that amount of horsepower. So with adding a bigger fuel tank, I just, are you messing with the engineering design of the car itself? I wonder. Because like I said, you're trying to keep the car locked to the ground, and I just feel like a bigger fuel load and a bigger fuel tank on the back is going to have the front end coming up even more, unless something's done about that. I feel like if these marquee events like the Kings Royal, Knoxville Nationals, I think they should all be treated the same. I think Kings Royal should run 50 laps. I think they should play it the same they do Knoxville, treat it as 2A mains and have a fuel stop halfway. Yeah, I don't really agree with bigger fuel tanks on the 410s, because I think even the non-wing 410s, aren't those, I think they're less horsepower by like 50 or something like that. So yeah, I was just thinking outside the box, from every direction on that, because it's really something to think about when you try to wrap your head around it.
Yeah, I mean, if you put those on the car, you're going to slow the car down. Like, you're going to start the race with a full load. You're going to have a lot more weight on the car than you would have had with the smaller tank. And that's one thing I think of. The other thing is, the Silver Crown, they obviously run a big tank, right? But those are 360s, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of, the Silver Crown.
Those are 360s. So, and they run dirt and pavement, and that's a whole nother topic. But like we always say, like, these are just our thoughts. We don't have the solution. We're not going to pretend that we know. Like, we're just fans in the stands, hoping to share some information with you guys and give you some insights to what we're thinking as far as dirt track racing is concerned.
So in high limit, Gio Scelzi quietly 36 points back from Rico. He's third in high limit points. Aaron Reitzel is just 8 behind Rico. So Rico's found his way to the front there, Josh, after the slow start. And Gio Scelzi, he's been really consistent all year, and finishing in the front pretty much every night. So yeah, we got a tight points battle once again for a high limit shaping up for this year, and they keep producing bangers year after year.
Yeah, I think they're all gonna, it looks like everybody's kind of hitting their stride right now, and that run to the finish line could be very interesting between these guys. 36 points between your top three. You can't be disappointed in that, and I look forward to be an awesome ending to the season. I can't wait to see him at Four Crown at Eldora in September.
Moving on here, we got the North-South 100 coming up. The 44th annual Sunoco Race Fuels North-South 100 presented by Lucas Oil will be August 6th through the 8th at Florence Speedway in Kentucky. Thursday and Friday will again have twin features, each night paying $6,000 to win. Saturday's non-qualifier race will be a $3,000 to win event, and the dash for cash is $5,000 to win. Finally, the Sunoco Race Fuels North-South 100 feature event will pay $75,000 to win, and an event record $3,500 to start for a feature purse of over $210,000. The total late model weekend purse is in excess of $325,000. Wow, Josh, what a big race, and it's right next door to us.
Yeah, I want to kind of get off topic here for just a second, and I want to say a couple things. Number one, I love it when they call it the dash for cash. I don't know. That was something when I was a kid that they always referred to the dash cash, right? And I think we need to really dig our heels in on that and stay with that. And on that same note, I like the B main better than I like the Last Chance Showdown or whatever you want to call it. In my opinion, it's the B main. It's not some other crazy name. Give me the B main. Give me the dash cash all night long. And on that note, big weekend, like you said, Florence, which isn't, I don't know, 20, maybe 25 minutes south of Cincinnati. Bobby Pierce has won it the last 3 years. Nothing tells me, I hate to be that guy, but nothing is telling me that's going to change this year. Bobby Pierce is my pick to win his 4th in a row North-South 100. EJ, do you have a pick?
Josh, you keep picking Bobby Pierce every race, man. No, buddy. To be honest with you, I would love to see a Josh Rice win.
Yeah.
I think that would be real big time there in Kentucky at Florence.
Yeah.
That's what I would like to see. But I think I'm gonna go with Hudson O'Neal. I think he's due for a win, and he usually runs pretty good there. And yeah, like I said, you take Bobby Pierce for every race, so I can't take him.
I mean, you can. It's just, when you look at this, it's. I mean, we all know how Bobby Pierce has been running this year, right?
Oh, yeah.
Then you add that into the fact that he's won this the last 3 times.
He's winning everything.
It's just, it's hard. Like, I'm with you, Josh. I think Josh Rice would be an awesome win there.
Yeah.
But for my money, if I was betting in Vegas, I'm going Bobby Pierce.
Good pick.
Moving on, we're going to talk about the Knoxville 360 Nationals. That also August 6th through 8th, 36th edition of the 360 Knoxville Nationals returns to the ASCS slate with 3 action-packed nights at the sprint car capital of the world. So far, 112 entries, 30 rookies. Rico Abreu is your defending champion. EJ, I'm going to let you go first on this. Who's your pick to win the Knoxville 360 Nationals?
Kyle Larson. He hasn't been running a ton of 410s this year, so 360 would be slowing it down for him a little bit. And we know he's a Knoxville Nationals champion in the 410s. So that would be my pick for this year's 360 Nationals.
Okay, and I mean, that's not a bad pick. I think I'm going to go. It's funny you say Kyle Larson because I don't have it in my notes, so obviously you can't see who I'm going to pick. But I already knew who I was going to pick. And the fact that you said Kyle Larson, my pick to win the Knoxville 360 Nationals, Corey Day.
Oh. Wow. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. I'm going Corey Day for the Knoxville 360 Nationals. I mean, look, there's a lot of guys, obviously a ton of entries, right? A lot of guys that have a shot at winning that title, and it's going to be a heck of a week and a half there in Knoxville, Iowa. We're going to move on from 360 Nationals to the Knoxville Nationals, the 65th NOS Energy Drink Knoxville Nationals presented by Casey's, August 12th through the 15th in Knoxville, Iowa. And one note I had to put down, Donnie Schatz has 11 national wins and could tie Steve Kenter for the most this year. Donnie had the same chance as far as King's Royal wins were concerned, and he had a shot, obviously, this year to try and tie the King. We know that didn't happen. Donnie's good at Knoxville. I don't think he's been as good here recently as he was there at the beginning of the season, but I definitely wouldn't be against seeing him 10-time tie the King for Knoxville National wins. And then you look at the list of entries so far. Man, I mean, Wednesday or Thursday, pick your poison, right, EJ? Like, there's some heavy hitters on both sides. Neither night is going to be easy. Big money at the biggest race of the year for the 410 Winged Warriors in the championship A-Main. $200,000 to win, $85,000 for second, $45,000 for third, and the starter 24th position is going to get a cool $15,000. Saturday purse is $881,625, and the total 4-day purse for the Knoxville Nationals with the extras is over $1.1 million. I mean, that's a hell of a lot of money there. Like we've said, there's some big hitters. It's Knoxville. It's the Nationals. I don't know if you can really say much more, but I've said this before and I'll say it again. Love the start money. $15,000 to start at the tail of the A-Main. Like, it's going to be a while, and I don't know if it'll ever happen, but that's what I want the Kings Royal to be. Like, give me some big money at the back end of that field. And they've bumped it up here recently. I think there's still room for improvement there, but it's Knoxville. It's the Nationals. It's second to none. Your 2025 champion, Ryan Timms. And although I won't be surprised if we have a repeat winner, I am going to go with a guy who has 2 wins at Knoxville this season, along with 7 top 10s in the 8 times that he has ran there in 2026. I'm going with Aaron Reitzel to win his first Knoxville National.
That's a good pick, Josh. I definitely can't go against my boy. I'm going with the Sheldon Hodenshield. He's been running consistent, man.
Yeah.
He hasn't been doing nothing crazy. He avoided Hard Knocks night last year and locked straight in from his prelim night. So, and yeah, he's just looking way better in that 18 and that brand new equipment than what he was in the 17. And, Spencer Baston is not doing what Sheldon was doing in that 17 either. So, Sheldon's looking really good, and I'm looking for him to get his second crown jewel at the Knoxville Nationals.
I think it'd be cool to see Donnie tie the king, but I'm going with Aaron Reitzel. You're going with Sheldon Hodenshield. We're not far off from the Knoxville Nationals. I think just over a week away, that'll be kicking off. The Ironman 55 is in between there. We won't be back next week, so that's why we're kind of covering this stuff. It's going to be a great time, and I'm sure the folks that get out there, I've got to get to Knoxville. I've heard all the stories. I think the town is, I want to say it's like, I want to say it's like 8,000 or 9,000 people maybe.
Yeah, it's not big.
And when the Nationals comes into town, it just blows up, and there's sprint cars driving down the road and vendors everywhere. And it sounds awesome. So one of these days we got to get there. But until then, we're going to give you our picks from home. I'm going with Aaron Reitzel. EJ is going with Sheldon Hodenshield.
I drank a beer. I drank another beer. 3 beers. 4 beers. Oh, no.
Going into our race recap, we go to Thursday, July 23rd, the dirt track at IMS for Indiana Sprint Week Night 1. The USAC Sprint seen Justin Grant pick up the win, Jake Swanson in second, and Logan Seavey in third. Friday, July 24th, Attica Raceway Park in Attica, Ohio. The AFCS 410 seen Bryce Lucius with the win, Caleb Henry in second, which was plus 10, so second from 12th for Caleb Henry, and then Chris Andrews round out the podium. The AFCS 305's Brian Sabeto with the win, Ben Watson in second, Seth Schneider in third. The late models, Devin Shields with the victory, Kyle Moore in second, and Matt Irie in third. Fairbury Speedway in Illinois for the PDC Night 1. Feature 1 seen Jason Fager with the win, Dallin Murdy in second, and Katie Lowdy plus 11 to finish third. Feature 2, Sam Seawright with the win, Chris Simpson in second, and Dennis Erb Jr. in third. Feature 3, B-Shep, Brandon Shepard with the win, Justin Duty in second, and Turbo Tyler Erb in third. Feature 4, seeing Trey Mills with the win, Shane Clanton in second, and Mike Marlar round out the podium. Lima Land Motorsports Park in Lima, Ohio. The Great Lakes Traditional Sprints non-wing 410s, Jacob Boxell with the win, Dustin Engel in second, and Ryan Barr in third. Josh, what do you think about that podium there, buddy?
Yeah, man, you got to love that podium, right? We got Jacob Boxell get the second win of the season in 410. Both of them right there at Lima. We've still got some more results to come. Jacob's going to grab win number 3 throughout these results, but he gets the win there. And Ryan Barr with a nice podium. If you haven't had a chance to see this race, go to YouTube, check out GLTS. They've got this race. I will tell you what, I watched it. That track at Lima Land that night, holy smokes. Like, sign me up for that twice on Sunday. That thing was sick. I mean, if I remember correctly, the modifieds and the non-wing both set new track records that night in qualifying. So new track records in qualifying for 2 different divisions on the same night on the same track. And then the feature was very good. If you haven't had a chance to see it, I suggest you go check it out. Also, you get to see Jacob Boxell grab his second 410 win and Ryan Barr with a nice podium finish there.
Yep, absolutely. Then the modified scene, Dylan Nussbaum with the win, Jeff Kaz in second, and Dylan Woodling in third. Then the other modified feature they had, it was A-Main from July 3rd. Jeff Kaz with the win, Dustin Moore in second, Tony Anderson in third. And the Thunderstocks, seeing Jordan Conover with the win, Todd Sherman in second, and Tony Anderson in third. Then we're going to go to Lincoln Park Speedway for Indiana Sprint Week Night 2. The USAC non-wing 410, seeing Kyle Cummins with the win, CJ Leary in second, and Mitchell Moles round out the podium.
Moving to Saturday, July 25th, Atomic Speedway and the Brock Cheney Memorial. In the 410s, Cale Stinson gets the win, Danny Smith in second, and Brian Knuckles in third. Congratulations to Cale Stinson. First 410 win. Way to get it there at Atomic. Big night there at the Brock Cheney Memorial. And the modifieds, Adam Stricker. He gets the win. Joey Kramer in second, and Matt Hamilton. He comes all the way from 15th to 3rd. In the sport mods, Austin Barker gets the win. Jamie Adams in second, and Jeff Conrad would round out your podium. Fairbury and the PDC, the Prairie Dirt Classic with the World of Outlaw late models. And Brandon Shepard gets the win. He drives the car to the bank. Hudson O'Neill in second, and he comes from 18th. And the smooth operator, Bobby Pierce, he comes from 14th to 3rd. In the modifieds, Cole Falloway gets the win, Michael Ledford in second, and Damian Kiefer would round out the podium. Fremont and AFCS with some dirt trucks. In the 410s, Chris Andrews gets the win, Darren Ida in second, and Cap Henry in third. In the 305s, Brian Sabato gets the win, Paul Weaver in second, and Jamie Miller in third. And in the dirt trucks, Keith Sorg with the win, Steve Miller in second, and Kent Brewer would round out your podium. Moving to Kokomo Speedway for Indiana Sprint Week, night number 3 with the USAC non-wing 410s, the USAC sprint cars, and Kevin Thomas Jr. He gets the win, Justin Grant in second, and Gavin Miller would round out the podium.
Moving on to Sunday, July 26th at the Lawrenceburg Speedway. You was able to get out there, Josh, for Indiana Sprint Week, night number 4.
Yep.
The USAC non-wing 410 scene, Justin Grant pick up the win, Kyle Cummins in second, and Jake Swanson in third. What did you think about that race, Josh?
Yeah, it was good. A couple different lines they could run. I thought the track was pretty good. Good car count, as was accustomed to Indiana Sprint Week. It's always good to get to the track, right? And getting to Lawrenceburg and then hanging out afterwards. And I was glad to get that one in. I was hoping to get to Circle City, but that just didn't pan out. So got to get to Lawrenceburg, and it was racy, and Grant made a slide there. I think it was with 2 to go, if I'm not mistaken. And when he threw the slide, I was like, I don't know if this is going to clear, but it did. And once it did, Justin Grant was gone. Yeah. It looked like it was going to be close, and it was a good slide, and that was it. Once he got out in front, I think it may have been 3 to go. But once he got out in front, Justin Grant was gone, and he was your winner there at Lawrenceburg for Sprint Week night number 4.
And moving on to Port Royal Speedway for the Bob Weichert Memorial, $100,000 to win. The high limit sprint scene, Giovanni Scelzi with a big payday, his first win in his new ride, and what a payday for him to get that one out of the way. Chase Dietzen second, and Tyler Courtney round out the podium. Wheatsport Speedway out in New York, the World of Outlaw Sprint Cars, David Gravel with the win, Sheldon Hodenshield in second, and Logan Schuhart in third. Moving on to Tuesday, July 28th, the Circle City Raceway for Indiana Sprint Week, night number 5. And the USAC non-wing sprint scene, the Macho Man, Brady Bacon with the win, Logan Seavey in second, and Mitchell Moles round out the podium.
Move to Wednesday, July 29th, Atomic Speedway in the Compacts. Kevin Wills gets the win. Tyler Mahaffey in second, and Tony Dunn Jr. in third. Sport Mods, Deegan Bloomfield gets the win. Jeff Conrad in second. Austin Barker in third. Modifieds, Anthony Slusher gets the win. Danny Moore in second, and Terry Humphrey in third. And the legend, Steve Parton gets the win. Glenn Mitchell in second, and Ryan Swisshelm would round out the podium. Moving to BAPS in the World of Outlaw Sprint Cars, Chase Dietz gets the win. Buddy Kofoid in second, and David Gravel in third. Paragon Speedway, Indiana Sprint Speed Week, night number 6. In the USAC Sprints, Jake Swanson. He had a third there. Then he comes away with a win at Paragon. Kyle Cummins in second, and Brady Bacon in third. Thursday, July 30th, Cedar Lake Speedway in Wisconsin with the World of Outlaw late models. Tyler Erb gets the win, Brandon Shepard in second, and Hudson O'Neill in third. The Cedar Lake late models also on hand, and Pat Dorr gets the win, Ashley Anderson in second, and Nick Pazinski. He goes from 14th to third. Terre Haute Action Track. What? Terre Haute Action Track and the boys from Dirt Tracks and Rib Racks. I think they were around, if I'm not mistaken. I thought I saw them a time or two. That's Sprint Week, night number 7, in the Don Smith Classic in USAC Sprints. Kyle Cummins gets the win, Brady Bacon in second, and Kevin Thomas Jr. would round out your podium.
And moving on to Friday, July 31st, Attica Raceway Park in Attica, Ohio, the AFCS 410s, seeing Cap Henry with the win, Trey Jacobs in second, and DJ Foose in third. The AFCS 305s, Brian Sabeto with the win, Tyler Schulich in second, and Jamie Miller in third. Late models scene, Kyle Moore with the win, Mike Boers in second, and Devin Shields round out the podium. Then going to Bloomington Speedway for Indiana Sprint Week, night number 8, Sheldon Kinzer Memorial, the USAC Sprints, Robert Ballou with the win, Mitchell Moles in second from 13th place, and Justin Grant round out the podium. The Lightning Sprint seen Brandon Coffey with the win, Johnson Ginder in second, and Jordan Shipley in third. Hilltop Speedway in Millersburg, Ohio, the late models, Corey Conley with the win. Modified seen Kevin Davis get your victory. Mod Lights, Jake Bowman with the win. Mini Stocks, Tim Jensen got the victory there. Sport Mod seen Braxton Wilson pick up the win. Crown Vics, John Wheeler. And the 270 Wing Micros was Skylar Klein with the victory there. Going out to Jackson County Speedway in Jackson, Ohio for the OVSCA 410s, Jamie Myers with the win. The Sport Mod seen Brandon Francis. Sport Compacts, Chris Wise got the win. Mod Lights, Aaron Pendleton. And Street Stocks, Evan Robertson with the victory.
Moving to Limeland Motorsports Park in the modifieds, Jeff Kaz with the win, Drew Charleston in second, and Eric Kinney the second and third. Thunderstocks, Todd Sherman with the win, Jeff Matheny in second, and Jordan Conover in third. In the Dirt Track Truck Series, Chris Hicks gets the win, Paige Perrine in second from 12th, and Tony Anderson, T-Bone, rounds out the podium. Jordan Conover, your 2026 Limeland Stock Car champion, and Jeff Kaz is your 2026 Limeland Modified champion. Congratulations to both of them. Mansfield Speedway in Mansfield, Ohio. Wing 410s, Cale Thomas with the win, Nate Dussel in second, and Ricky Peterson Jr. with a nice third place. Then on Wing 410s, he wins again. Jacob Boxell finishes at the top of the podium. John Mollick in second and Corbin Hazlett in third. The modifieds, James Looney gets the win. Kurt Spalding in second, and David Stremme would round out the podium. Moeller Raceway Park, Williamsburg, Ohio. In the Sport Mods, Eric Shepard Jr. gets the win. Compacts, Christopher Meyer. IMCA Race Over 305s, Roman Gephardt. Congratulations to him. Dude lives right up the road. Went back and forth. I know he's been helping Bryce Lucius there. They got that big Brad Doty Classic win. Roman says, I got to go get a win of my own. So he goes to Moeller and he gets a win in the 305s. Congratulations to him. In the Legends, Stephen Parton gets the win. And the USAC Midwest Thunder Midgets, Bryce Massengale with the win. Raceway 7 Modifieds, Dave Hess Jr. gets the win. Rush Late Models, once again, it's Dave Hess Jr. In the Economods, Zach Eller. And in the Crown Vics, Steve Hall with the victory. Moving to Williams Grove Speedway for the Summer Nationals with the World of Outlaw Sprint Cars. Buddy Kofoid gets the win. Darren Pittman in second. And David Gravel would round out your podium.
Moving on to Saturday, August 1st at the Cedar Lake Speedway out in Wisconsin for the 39th Annual USA Nationals. World of Outlaw Late Models seen Bobby Pierce jump into the lake. Brandon Shepard in second, and Ethan Dotson round out the podium. The Cedar Lake Late Models, Pat Dorr with the win, James Giassi in second, and Daniel Bargender in third. And we go out to Goods Raceway in Deerfield, Ohio. The Junior Sprints, Austin Cyrus with the win, and the Junior Sportsman, Brock Van Fossen with the victory. 270 Micros, Skylar Klein. Mod Lights, seen Blake Robbins with the win. Modified Dwarfs, Tyler Turner. Classic Dwarfs, Jake Toto with the victory. And the Vintage Modifieds, Bob Alcorn with the win. Moving to Sharon Speedway in Hartford, Ohio for the Lou Blaney Memorial. And the 410 Sprint Cars, Dale Blaney once again winning his father's race. AJ Flick in second. Another nice podium run for Ricky Pearson Jr. there.
Yeah.
Modified seen Eric Rudolph with the win, Jeremiah Shingledecker in second, and Tyler Willard in third. Moving to Tri-State Speedway out in Indiana for the Sprint Week finale. Kyle Cummins is your Indiana Sprint Week champion. The race seen JG, Justin Grant, pick up the win. Brady Bacon in second and Kyle Cummins in third. The mini sprint seen Jalen Mills with the win, Johnson Ginder in second, and Brandon Coffey in third. Williams Grove Speedway out in PA for the C&D Rigging Summer Nationals finale. The World of Outlaw Sprint Car seen David Gravel pick up the win, Logan Schuhart in second, and Logan Rumsey round out the podium.
Moving on to racing to come, August 6th, Florence in the 44th Annual Sunoco Race Fuels North-South 100, night number 1 with the Lucas Oil Late Models. Knoxville and the 360 Knoxville Nationals, night number 1 with ASCS. Nevada Speedway is going to have USMTS Plymouth in Indiana and the All-Star National Pavement Midget Series.
August 7th, Bloomington will have the Kevin Huntley Memorial with 410 non-wings. Circle City will have the Crown Vics Hornets Super Stocks and Modifieds. Florence Speedway will see the 44th annual Sunoco Race Fuels North-South 100, Night 2, with the Lucas Oil late models. I-55 will have the night before the Ironman 55 with the World of Outlaw Sprints and the Extreme Outlaw Midgets. I-96 will have the American Late Model Ironman Series and the Great Lakes Super Sprints.
Jackson County is going to have Ohio Valley Late Model Dirt Series, Dirt Car UMP Modifieds, IMCA Race Saver Sprint Cars, Sport Mods, 4-cylinder stocks, Mod Lights, and 600cc winged micros. You're also going to get night number 2 at Knoxville for the 360 Nationals with ASCS. Limeland's going to wrap up their season with Modifieds, Thunder Stocks, and the Dirt Track Truck Series. It's going to be their King of the Quarter Mile night there at the track. And I was actually reading something after your admission gets you into the pit party afterwards, and it sounds like there's food included. So sounds like a good time to be at the racetrack there as Limeland wraps up their season. Moving to Lucas Oil Speedway, the 17th annual Show Me Shootout, night number 1 with USMTS, Ohio Valley Speedway, and the Gladiator Sprint Tour. I think that was supposed to be their final stop for 2026, but I thought I saw that they may have or are trying to add another race this season, so I'm not entirely sure on that. But modifieds, sport mods, 4-cylinders, WRA mini wedges, and late models will also be on hand with the Gladiator Sprints there at Ohio Valley Speedway.
And also, Penton Raceway will see the USCS. State Line Speedway will have the All-Star Circuit of Champions Night 1. Going to August 8th, Butler Motor Speedway will have the American Late Model Ironman Series. Fremont will have the AFCS 410s, the AFCS 305s, and dirt trucks. Florence will see the 44th annual Sunoco Race Fuels North-South 100 with the Lucas Oil late models.
Goods Raceway is going to have Junior Sprints, Junior Sportsmans, 270 Micros, Mod Lights, Sportsman Modified Dwarfs, and Sportsman Classic Dwarfs. I-55 is going to have the Ironman 55 with the World of Outlaw Sprint Cars. Iowa Speedway is going to have USAC Silver Crown, Knoxville in the 360 Knoxville Nationals with ASCS, Lucas Oil Speedway, and the 17th annual Show Me Shootout with USMTS.
Montpelier will have the Terry Hull Memorial with Dirt Car UMP Modifieds, 410 Sprints non-winged, and the USAC Midwest Thunder Speed D2 Midgets. Sonoya will have the USCS. Silver Bullet will have the GLSS. State Line will have the All-Star Circuit of Champions. Winston Speedway will have the GLTS. August 9th, Knoxville will have the Capitani Classic with the Layton State Bank 410 Sprint Cars to start out a big week in Knoxville, Iowa.
Yeah, that's going to wrap up this upcoming week of racing, and it's going to lead into a huge week there at Knoxville, Iowa for the Knoxville Nationals. Some of the racing is kind of toned down, I think, in part of that. So there's still racing out there. Still time to get to the track. It's August. You got at least, I'd say, another month or so. But once high school football starts up, once the weather starts to cool off, some tracks start closing up. So as we always say, if you can get to the track, make sure you get to the track. EJ, any plans for you this weekend when it comes to racing?
Well, I mean, we talked a little before we got on, and, we've talked plenty of times in the past about I've got a lot of, stuff outside of racing that I got going on. It's costing me a lot of money right now. So, racing's few and far between as far as getting to the track right this second. So I don't foresee me going anywhere. I do have tickets for Four Crown is the next thing I got on the agenda. Hoping to get something before then, but I've got a lot of life things to deal with, and got to be a father first. So Nothing for me. I'm just gonna hang out and watch everything on TV, and hope to get on the podcast and talk about it.
Yeah, you and I are kind of in the same boat. Work is just keeping me away from the track right now. If I remember right, I think the next time I might be able to go is I took off August 29th to try to go down to Florence to catch some non-wing 410 sprint cars. So
oh yeah,
that and I know I've got off for fork round. Those two should happen for sure. If I get something else in, I'll always take it. But right now, it's slim pickings for me. So, like you, I'll have to watch from home. As we wrap up this episode 89, next one's going to be 90. We're getting closer to 100. Got anything for me, EJ?
Yeah, Josh, I always appreciate you having me on the podcast, man. What you got going on here is a really cool thing. And obviously with the big following that you got now, we're obviously the proof's in the pudding, buddy. But yeah, like always, like I said, I appreciate it, Josh. And Knoxville Nationals, let's go Sheldon Hot and Shield.
There you go. EJ been doing a lot of work helping me with the podcast, getting things together. He's got a lot of folks on board. Over 2,500 followers on Facebook now. We gained 2,000 since the Kings Royal. We're on a roll. We're going to try to keep up. Everybody follow us, like, share, subscribe. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and X. Thanks for the support. And we hope to see you guys at the track.